Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another tutorial of Architections. Today we will discuss about relative layout and frame layout. If you are still not a subscriber of this channel, please subscribe this channel. Also like our Facebook page, which is @Architections. So this is the view. Let me remove this parent layout. This is the parent layout and use relative layout as a parent layout. So we are creating here a simple about page or info page of any application, and we are using relative layout for it. So let's create a drawable background for this. Drawable, new, drawable resources. Then we will select this as shape and we will say background about. So let's select a shape, rectangle. So after defining shape, let's give solid color. So I don't want to call colors from color XML. I want to define here, so I will write hash FFF, then we'll select the color petals from here. So I selected this blue color, aqua blue color. I want some radius of 5 dB and my background is ready. So I will say background BG about. So the background is now changed. So let's start with our first header, which is text view, match parent, rep content. Text is about. Gravity of text will be center. The size of the text will be greater, so let's say 30 sp. Then the text color will be white and let's say text style will be bold. So we can also use text font here. For that we have to use font, family font, and then these are the predefined and built-in fonts. We can also use fonts by attributes, and then we will search here family font. Then we will click here and scroll down more fonts. Find these fonts over here. When we select some font here, we found the preview over here. Let's say I am choosing I'm choosing this one with this, right? So that's it. In the values we found preloaded fonts, and then we will go back to this activity find this in our fonts. So let's increase the size of this text, which is 40 dp now. Let's create another text tree over here, and same with match parent, wrap content. But for this we have to central align the text, so we will use center in parent row, and we will give the id to this text, which is text view label 1, and the text is UK Textions. Gravity will also center. Text size will be bold. Then we will also use here the same font, which is assembly font Capin. Text color will be black, so I'm using here the black, and the text size will be 20 sp. So we use UK Textions. So let's copy this and paste it over here. So I will rename it to 2, and will say when we have to create a text below this text label 2 below label 1. So what I will do, below I will type below layout below, and will give the idea of this text view will come after label 1. So let me remove this text and say add. Let's add some text to it. UK Textion is about tutorials and tech, right? So alter enter is string, and what we will find here, so when we use and or apostrophe, it will convert the text like this in the string file. So let me change the color of this text, which is color green. Let me see, we can also change the background color. We have to set the opacity from here, so we can dim the opacity, or we can also use color like that. So let's see the impact over here. So it's a bit good, right? Okay, now then we will to define the text of any text view or edit text or hints on string file. It's a good practice for a developer, so we can reuse these text time by time. So let's say label 3, and now I will do label 2, right? And we'll give this text to label 3. It's already label 3 over here. So let's change the text. So we can also create image assets. Let me create the vector icon. Okay, image asset, vector asset. Then I will say phase book, right? So in vector icon, I can also change the color of this particular. So Facebook icon is like this. And finish. So what I will do, I will use the drawable start Facebook baseline Facebook, right? I forgot to give the icon name, so it's predefined Facebook icon. So let's say have to do rep content over here, and if I am using a start, I have to also use the left. Let me cut it and paste below this, and now I will use Facebook page equals to UK section. So let's call the text TK UK sections, right? If I want to give padding between drawable and text, so what I will do, drawable padding, right, which is approx 10 dp. So it will give some space between the text and the drawable, right? So let's create a close button over here. I'm creating image button, wrap content. Also I have to create a asset resource. Also I have to create a vector asset. So let's say I want a close button. Let's type close. So it says this one is the close button over here. Next, finish. So it's over here. So when we are using image button, we use resource called close. So let's create a circular background for this image. New resource, shape, background, close, btn. This one is shape. Next, so let's assign the shape now as the shape will be oval. We will assign the size, which is about width equals to 50 dp and height equals to 50 dp. So it will convert the shape from oval to circle, and then we will say solid equals to color white. So let's give the solid color equals to white. Also will give some stroke color, which is color green. Just want to show you the impact of this background. We will give the width about 5 dp. It's not looking fine, so let's say 1 dp, right? So move to our XML file and we will say background will bg close button. So it's here, right? So it's overlapping it. So let's say below id and give the id of this button equals to I am image button ib underscore close, right? ib close. So I remove the constraint of top parent true and that it's align the below parent IB button, right? Close button. So let's say I give some margin to make it more prominent. 20 dp. Margin top will be 20 dp, more than enough. Start, so it will say left. Margin top, so 10 dp approx. Close. So I will use how to close this activity, right? So we created a about page using relative layout. So let's move to this activity, and we just want to use find you by id r.id.btn ib close button dot set on click listener new on click listener, on click this, finish this activity, right? So let's run our application and let's see what we have done. So this was our previous tutorial about constraint layout, and after submit next button, let's see today's layout, which is relative layout. So it's here. So when I press this button, it will close. So that's it. We created a relative layout over here which says about page, you get actions, tutorial and tag, and Facebook pages, you get actions. So we have to use frame layout as a parent layout. Frame layout is a layout can only use single view over here in a frame layout, right? We can only use a single item in it. Let's say we can only use here a linear layout or a text view, but we cannot use any other view with this text view over here, right? Let assign some static height, which is 300 dB. So if I want to create another text view, I can create it, but cannot move it here or there because it's a single view layout. So that's it from this tutorial. Hope you will like this tutorial about frame layout, relative layout. Like our Facebook page, stay connected with us, subscribe our channel. We will catch you with another tutorial soon, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.